Hey there, people of the world. Max Fun Drive is coming soon, and in the lead up, we need your help. We want to hear from you. We want you to tell us what this show means to you. Here's how you do it. Email, text, or audio messages to memberstories@MaximumFun.org. Or you can call and leave a message at 323-601-8719. And we might just share your thoughts on an upcoming episode. People of the world, you hear from us all the time. Now we want to hear from you. We want a message from you telling us what this show means to you. Here's what you do. Email, text, or an audio message to memberstories@MaximumFun.org, or call and leave a message at 323-601-8719, and we may share your thoughts in an upcoming episode. People of the world, Max Fun Drive is coming soon, but you can help us right now. Here's how. We want to hear from you about what this show has meant to you. Here's what you do. Email, text, or audio messages to memberstories@MaximumFun.org, or call and leave a message at 323-601-8719. We may be able to share your thoughts in an upcoming episode. You never know. And in the meantime, please enjoy this episode of We Got This with Mark and Hal. Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle once and for all.
First form of immortality.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcast should have a theme song. Podcast should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
What is up, Joko Cruz? Hal, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. It's so nice to be virtually at sea with everybody. And to repeat what we did, what was it, 5 years ago? We were on a boat helping people decide things, and now we're doing it again. This time we'll be settling once and for all what is the worst form of immortality. This was suggested by Caleb over email, but I think it applies to all of us because this is what we think about all the time.
Oh, I can't tell you the number of times I've just stayed awake at night staring at the ceiling, both wishing I was immortal and wondering how I could wind up with the worst possible version of that.
Yeah. We have amazing guests here with us. The wonderful Kelly Sue DeConnick and Matt Fraction. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, y'all. First of all, it's great to see you. Thank you for joining us on this virtual boat.
Yes.
This is very exciting.
Wait, could we just talk about, we can't ignore the fact there is an adorable puppy in the background.
What?
So that's what you hear.
I'm not picking that up. What? I'm not hearing that.
I'm getting little bits of it. Can we see the puppy? Is it possible the puppy make an appearance?
No dogs on a boat, you guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't break the premise.
Very exciting.
It's also our Christmas tree, and I'd like to point out that it's March.
That is, you know what? There's nothing more 2021 than celebrating your Christmas. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Who is it? Can we change the topic for the day to who's a good boy?
Yeah.
Yes.
See the Falcor thing? See?
Yeah, he does. He looks like Falcor. He's a luck
stretches
drag.
out like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh my God, those paws.
Yeah.
Now this dog
I don't know if you can see, but that's my shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 12 weeks old, 14 weeks old.
14, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Weren't we all shoulder height at 14 weeks? though?
yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And much like that dog, I could also palm a basketball that early in my life. Regulation size, not college.
Yes. So, all right, let's see what happens if we take him out and let him come sit by me.
Oh, this is
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah.
He can also weigh in. What is his name?
His name is Padfoot.
Padfoot.
Yes, of course.
Fantastic.
A daughter had the name before the dog, but then it kind of made real perfect sense anyway. So
With the giant pad feet.
That's pretty perfect.
Oh. Well,
22 delicious little toes.
so weird.
Yeah,
So
this
weird.
breed of dog has extra dew claws.
Yeah, it's real weird. It's real weird.
I
It's
want that.
adorable.
I want just a finger sticking out of my forearm.
Yeah.
That's
That's
the
what I
effect.
want.
But like a kind of a finger
But
without
like floppy. They're floppy.
very,
Yeah, not connected by any tendons or ligaments.
No.
Like
No,
skin tags.
just a finger tube.
Yeah, just a finger tubes.
By the way, my new website, FingerTube, is launching this week. All the Joco people get 50% off your subscription. It's annual, and it is very expensive.
Oh my God. Well, it's lovely to see you both. You are both legends in the comic book world. And one thing that pops up frequently in the comic book world is the concept of immortality. So today we are going to talk about the worst possible versions of immortality. I have a list in front of me of different kinds of immortality. I'm wondering how you guys, though, beginning would break this down. Like the list that I have is more broad categories: longevity, regeneration, undead, reliant on an amulet of some sort. Like,
Sure.
Or just being remembered, you know?
that was a great call. Cause I'm wondering, are we talking about literal comic book immortality, or are we talking about metaphorical creativity immortality?
My list has a little bit of everything. Some of the magic, some of the how we live on in memory. And I noticed too, a lot of mine on my list actually involve dying.
Yeah.
I think I think there's all kinds of ways that immortality is a terrible idea.
Yeah. Yes. That's
the question. Would any of us want to be immortal?
No.
No. But if I were, I would want to choose it. Like a lot of times, immortality is sort of foisted upon you. I mean, Prometheus is maybe a good mythological example of that, where he will live forever, but he's tied to a rock somewhere with a buzzard eating his liver every day. And then it heals, and then he does it again.
That's a bummer.
Although I think you get used to it after a while.
You think so?
I mean,
like you name the buzzard. Yeah.
You become like the sheepdog and the wolf, where they just punch a clock.
yeah.
It's like the pterodactyls that would break fourth wall in the Flintstones.
Yeah.
Just like eating a living. It's a living.
Exactly.
Although, I do want to, I'm sorry, I had a maybe I'd be immortal. Like there's no in between, right? There's no you get to it's either you don't die or you do die.
I don't think there's like a Methuselah exemption where you get to live 900 years.
Right.
That would be amazing.
One of my examples was making some kind of never dying machine, but no one lives long enough to see that it works. So that's the thing where I need people to validate that I have in fact achieved immortality. I'm gonna outlive everybody. No one's gonna realize it. By the time the last person who realizes it, it's too late.
You don't need the immortality. You just need the accolades for the immortality.
I want the props. I want the props. I want the upvotes.
Did y'all see The Hunger?
Is that a vampire movie?
It is a vampire movie. It's a vampire movie with Susan Sarandon and David Bowie, and it's very near and dear to my heart.
Ooh.
And it has
Catherine Deneuve.
Catherine Deneuve, and a really
yes.
brief appearance by Willem Dafoe. And it's super, super 80s, and I absolutely love it. And I remember this movie as being amazing. And then I dragged my husband and some of my friends to see it when it aired as part of a Hollywood theater. Like, oh, let's show some movies from the 80s. This will be funny. And I was like, no, this one's so good. And, it's maybe a little bit more of its time than I recalled, but there's a scene in it that I think about a lot, which is when the woman who's the vampire, Catherine Deneuve, who's the lead, and okay, spoilers, this movie came out 30 years ago, but if you haven't seen it yet, you should get this part.
Okay. So
she can make other vampires, but she doesn't make them very well. Somehow she hasn't quite got the vampire making down. So she makes another vampire and they become her partner and they live together in beautiful harmony until the other vampire starts to rapidly age. But they don't die. They just get so old. They're like
living mummies, basically.
Yeah, they're living mummies. And then she puts them all up in her attic. And so when it's time, she takes them up there and she introduces her new love to her old loves and says, take care of them or whatever. Well, then all the old loves are very pissed off at her.
Sure.
It's like the Toy Story plot.
Exactly like that. But that would be a super, super shitty kind of immortality where you're just...
Catherine Deneuve makes a copy of a copy is the worst kind of immortality.
I'm intensely...
I was really bad with the swearing. I did it once already. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm intensely interested in the process by which a vampire becomes bad at making other vampires. Like somebody was explaining to her, all right, I've made you a vampire. You're going to stay this age forever.
No, I got it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Well, you have to take, there's an exact amount of blood.
No, I've seen the movies. I got it. Don't worry. I got it. I take it.
No, but it's 2 pints exactly. If you take a sip extra, then they just turn into California raisins. Oh,
I don't have a mind for math. It's fine.
You'll be fine. I'm going to
wing it. I'll figure it out.
Just feel it out. Feel it out.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make it my own.
Maybe it was GMOs.
Oh.
Are these people organic?
Yeah.
What's in this person? Do we know?
Oh my God. You need to USDA approve the members of the USDA before you bite them. They have to approve themselves.
You need heirloom.
Yeah.
Heirloom humans.
The thing about a vampire though is there's a difference between immortality and invulnerability because you can kill a vampire just like the Highlanders or the immortals in the Highlander universe where you stop aging the first time you're killed as long as your head's not removed. And then you will live forever until somebody chops your head off, who's another immortal. Yeah. Or if you just are like, if you have like was it Zelda Fitzgerald, like that kind of thing where you get the scarf.
No, that was Isadora Duncan.
Isadora Duncan, thank you. Like an Isadora Duncan thing where your head gets taken off by your scarf.
I would opt into that one.
Yeah.
I would opt in if there was a way out. You know, if there was like I want there to be I changed my mind.
Well, Highlandering was also on my list, but specifically because you would know there were other people that could live as long as you. Right. You could have company in perpetuity until they decide to chop your head off or someone decides to chop their head off. You know, like that sort of, that like watching your tribe get smaller and smaller and smaller over the long cosmic heat death of the universe is a bummer.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want to be a fourth wall breaker with a pterodon. Henry, we're doing a podcast, my love. Oh my God. Okay.
I thought whoever that was weighing in. I thought we were getting
He was.
Let me ask this then, because you mentioned like the sort of sadness of your waning tribe as you stop aging and other people continue to pass on. Do you think that the version that we ultimately wind up with of the worst version of immortality is one where mortality is not an option? Because you mentioned vulnerability, how like a vampire can be immortal, like barring anything bad happening or barring any, like, I guess, immortality without the option of mortality. Would that be the worst version?
Yeah. Are there any of those?
I don't know.
I can't think of. I mean, I think it produces some story problems for one thing.
If you can't kill a vampire, you can't kill a,
or there's anything you can't kill. I mean, in comics, we kill gods all the time, you know? Now they come back, which is bothersome, but you know, so do the people, comics, you know, but I can't think of any where it's like straight, no, you're going to outlive not just your cohort, but humanity.
Yeah.
Which is its own kind of.
Yeah, no, you hit a wall there of, well, what happens when there's no atmosphere left or heat? Yeah. Are you still, you know?
You outlive the planet? Do you? Right.
If immortality is literal immortality, that is a horrifying notion.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's surely something that would happen to your sanity over after a while.
Yeah. There's some element of, I mean, maybe it's just because of the puppy and everything, but I'm like, I don't know. I like some time to think. A little of that would be, you know, like a year or two of just nobody bothering me.
Just in the void of space. Yeah. Just like for a year.
Can I have a craft room?
Yeah.
Is there a craft room? I would just need some time to do some crafts and catch up. When does Netflix die?
Some people would say it already has, honey.
Boo.
No, we'll never stop. It will never stop, ever. Netflix will be there. And they're going to put it on whatever the next version of Voyager is. We'll have, we'll just have the entire Netflix library.
It'll be the gold album, but everything Netflix ever did will be on.
And a DVD of Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
You mentioned Orange is the New Black. I saw recently a Taylor Schilling episode of a show where she was actually maybe the worst version of immortality, which is when you don't wish for it, someone wishes it for you.
Ooh.
Like a lover brings you back. Like, I want my lover that died to come back from the dead. And so she's just physically decaying this whole time and can do nothing about it because she is dead. That, like, when it's not your choice, I feel like
they're sort of back to the hunger again.
Yeah.
Also, like, if we're going back to, I'm just skipping around. I don't know if there's supposed to be a cool format or order or anything, but if we go back to the just being remembered, like, what's worse, being remembered for something terrible or being remembered for something inaccurate? Like, as a sort of pedantic person.
Well, oh boy, I have two right there. These are my top two worst ones that I could think of that speak exactly to that. One, being the first person to die of an autoerotic mishap of your own invention, thus naming it.
Oh,
yeah.
Or creating a monster so very monstrous that your name becomes synonymous with that monster, so people just call the monster by your name without indicating the possessor. The Frankenstein conundrum, if you will.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are.
I want to know.
Really bad.
I'm kind of tempted to just ask Matt, like, we're probably going to wind up choosing from this list. I feel woefully underprepared that I did not come in with a full list of terrible, terrible ways to achieve immortality. You have a couple more on there that you could send our way for the discussion?
When you're done with this, you should ask him for his list of business names, because like we have to form businesses. He keeps a list of business names. They're all things that will get you investigated.
I'm amazing. You ever need to name an LLC? Hit me up because I got ideas for.
Oh yeah, we're gonna need a couple of those for sure.
Eating the whole thing, giving everybody a disease / getting a disease while being famous. Doesn't matter how many doubles and triples Lou Gehrig legged out.
Yeah,
not what people remember for. Killing everybody's favorites.
Sure.
Last place in a dying competition. Which is very much like, you win, but you lose, Again, no one's around to validate your victory.
Yeah.
That's kind of a great definition of immortality.
Yeah.
Losing the dying contest?
Yeah, you've lost the dying contest.
Yeah, I lost the dying contest. I came in last place in a dying competition.
When you said
it could be a comedy thing, but like for real, like the Black Dahlia, like being like that.
People.
Yeah, I know her name, Elizabeth Short, right? Like that's.
Yeah, forever associated with something horrible.
Yeah,
like Baby Jessica.
Yeah,
like if she could cure a disease, but we would still be like, you were stuck in a well. Can you tell us about that?
Baby Jessica cured a disease.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
Oh, from inside the well, because that's what I really want to hear. Is there going to be a movie about that?
Yeah, Well Hospital.
Yeah. Or like being the guy who said something, but you didn't actually say it. That would make me nuts.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to be misattributed.
Because I'm one of those people that's like, well, that wasn't exactly, that's not what I meant, or that's not what I said exactly. And so it was just...
the journalist Roger Mudd just died, and his great grandfather.
He's as in My Name is Mudd, right?
Yeah. He was the doctor that John Wilkes Booth held hostage and forced to set his leg after assassinating Lincoln, and was, I think, hung for treason. And Mudd, it was like a hobby for him, was trying to clear his great grandfather's name, and that was My Name is Mudd came from that, which is like another terrible kind of immortality that like, your last name has become an idiom for something bad
and curses your entire family. So it not only is immortal in that the phrase will last forever, but generations of humans will have to deal with that for as long as the bloodline goes.
Right. So although I guess you can make the argument too that the opposite of superlative, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but like, here you go. I can. Imagine the hell of a child in 10th grade chemistry with the last name of Einstein.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Having the name of so we're going. Yeah. When do those jokes get old? Right. That's got to be the worst.
Our son has been in the kitchen getting breakfast for his lizard, and he wanted to know if it was okay if he asked a question about the immortality.
Please.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Henry, This is Henry Leo.
Hi, Henry Leo.
I've also been on the Joko cruise a couple times.
All right, real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, not at all. Please.
The way I kind of understand hunger is it's your brain telling you got to eat, and like that's where the hurt comes from. So essentially, I want to know is if this immortality affects your like actual biology. Like, does it change your actual like physics? You don't have to feel that, because if you're immortal, that would just be cruel. It'd actually be impairing your actual like existence as an organism. So,
right.
Like,
so
Yeah.
what we're talking about is actually what would be the worst possible kind of immortality. So for you, as a 13-year-old boy who's grown 4 inches
In quarantine.
Oh, wow.
being perpetually hungry,
that would definitely
be the worst. That makes
But the flip side though, what about this though? Like, doesn't hunger give us a sense of time?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it gives us a sense of day and night and how long and things have been. It gives us a sense of order. If you were to remove that from your physical being, suddenly you would just be entirely unmoored in all kinds of, you're sort of, it would be like never needing to sleep, right? Like,
Right.
we're not made for that, right?
But then the flip side of that is if you are a vampire or a zombie, you are defined by your hunger. So it is constant zombies all the time. All they want to do is eat brains, or the classic Night of the Living Dead.
Or that classic Joko song.
Yes, that's right. Or the classic Joko song. But you live just to go eat brains. So it's hunger all the time. And you've sacrificed everything else except one of these things that is an indicator of your internal clock and a sense of how time is passing.
Are zombies conscious?
Only the ones with warm
Carlisle
bodies, right?
was.
Huh.
Yeah. It depends on your
I always sort of
mythos.
imagined them as kind of having like not retaining their personhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just have
I think
like
it's
the
like
basis reflex.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the heart, like basal. It's all cerebellum level stuff, right? I mean, heartbeat, breathing, eating, moving, not getting eaten, right?
Amygdala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
that is an interesting point about, I think like hunger is uncomfortable because your body needs food. But this goes, I think, to that if immortality is a possibility versus if immortality is a requirement. Where if immortality is a requirement, then you wouldn't need pain receptors. You wouldn't need hunger. There's nothing is going to hurt you or bring you down. So all of those things.
And you could speculate that sort of over the long arc that the way our skin develops calluses, or you break a bone and it sets stronger, like eventually would your body stop recognizing, I don't need to feel pain anymore, right?
Yeah.
Would your pain receptors kind of callous up? Would your need for sleep or whatever? That's like, I don't know, maybe that sounds awful. That sounds horrible.
We're sort of back to the, like, you'd get used to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I think that would be worse.
I don't know.
Honey, I think you just need a long weekend alone in a hotel. I think you're mistaking wanting immortality with a need for a spa weekend.
Yeah.
I think you just need 72 hours of you time.
Look, you've earned it.
Yeah.
You deserve it. Everybody, all of you out there on this virtual boat, you've all earned it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be immortal to take time for yourself, but it helps because you know you have as much time as you need. I'm going to take a couple of years off. It's fine. You all just take care of yourselves and I'll be back.
I was thinking about sabbatical the other day. Like,
He's my favorite vampire.
Yeah, sabbatical. Yes. Sabbatical and Brian. But, or was it wasn't Brian. It was Brad. Wasn't it Brad? I can't remember. There was a guy in New York, whose name was like Father Sebastian. And he was one of those dudes in the 80s and 90s that, wore the fake teeth around all the time. But I think he had the coven of lady vampires, and they were a thing. They were a sexy nightclub thing in New York City. I think his name was Brad.
They were just like a scene. Like Brad would just show up like Paris Hilton and
yeah.
Man. But there was something. Wasn't he the guy that made the teeth, right?
He did. He made the teeth. Yeah.
So if you wanted to, you need to find Father Sebastian. Have you seen Father Sebastian? Oh, you mean Brad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of love that idea that like that to me is way more interesting to go to a club and rather than see 20 of the best dressed Paris Hiltons in town filing in. I want to see a vampire with his coven. I want to see crazy stilt people. I want to see just like, that's the club that I want to be like, oh, I'm going to go to that one.
You should have been in the Lower East Side in the late 90s.
I'm on the Lower East Side. When I go to the Lower East Side now, it's Creation Juice and improv comedy, which both are great.
Oh, it's so, yeah. I lived here is a terrible kind of immortality, right? Outliving everything you remember. I lived in New York until 2002 and went back, 2-3 years ago? Matt, when was that?
I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I went back and shot a pilot and they put me up around the corner from my old local. And I used to live on 2nd Street between C and D. Mm-hmm. And so Mercury Lounge is still there. I mean, Mercury Lounge is not on 2nd between C and D, but that was where my local is. And they put me up this like fancy hotel that was down there, which was really confusing. I was so disoriented. Like I literally could not tell which way was uptown because there was nothing I recognized, like nothing. It was very strange.
It doesn't look like Rent anymore.
No. And there were no vampires. There were 0 vampires.
None?
None. Not one.
There's a Colson Whitehead line about you're a New Yorker when you remember what the thing used to be.
Yeah.
In New York. When that thing that's now a yarn store used to be the place you bought a record. Like that's you're a New Yorker when you remember what New York used to be like. Yeah.
Or that guy Brad was king of the vampires.
That's right.
If you remember Brad.
There's a thing I've never quite been able to make work story-wise, which maybe we can kind of workshop real quick if I can sort of sidetrack where I want to do like a vampires and werewolf story, but it's flip-flopped where the vampires become sloppy assholes after dark, and once a month in the full moon, the werewolf people become like the suavest, most so the werewolves are the guys that are keeping everything together, and the vampires are just the drunk maniacs running around every night, hitting street signs with rebar and all the vomiting on bodega doors. Like, oh, those are vampires. Those are the vampires. Yeah. It gets dark, they turn into just completely berserk 22-year-olds. And once a month, the werewolves super cool.
Late 90s.
Yeah, exactly. And then, the really suave, really cool werewolves. Only once a month. You only get the suave, cool guys who clean things up once a month.
Does that make
doesn't go anywhere?
Are the werewolves also immortal now? Because that would suck. Immortal werewolf.
Well, I mean, first off, wouldn't anyone die if they got shot in the heart with a silver bullet?
Yes,
probably.
Also, anyone would die if you drove a stake through their heart.
Right.
Just
true.
It's not like there's some degree of.
But that's the only way that they die.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's not that those ways don't kill humans. If that is the
only way that a werewolf dies, then the implication is a werewolf would, in some form or fashion, live forever, at least whenever there's a full moon, right?
Although, and I think this is really the most accurate depiction of werewolf life in Teen Wolf, his dad has aged. At one point, he was a teen wolf himself. Now he is.
Now he's an adult wolf.
He's an adult wolf. He's got gray hair.
The gray werewolf hair was amazing.
He's a dad. He's a dad wolf. Yeah.
He's Papa Wolf.
Does he have like dad bod?
Yeah.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just,
maybe that's what coyotes are.
Like
coyotes
one of those sausage
really
dogs.
Yeah. I'll bet you he's terrible at basketball, Wolf Dad, when he becomes a werewolf. Unlike his son, like he probably is not, he doesn't seem like a very sporty guy, which is
my God, that is the plot of Teen Wolf. You become really cool and suave when you're a wolf. That's what it is. It's I'm sorry. To Jeff Loeb, writer of Teen Wolf. I'm sorry, yes. Jeff. I accidentally took your. Sorry, Jeff.
You had a whole van surfing scene set up too.
Yeah, was that a thing?
Yes. That's what the cool kids do.
But paddleboarding on top of a van.
Legitimately disappointed right now.
Yeah, the paddleboarding is better. You have to have that makes it different. That's different enough.
I'm sorry, that's such a disappointing thing to find out.
No, it's good. But it's good that I workshopped it here, because maybe if I hadn't, it's that thing where when it lives in your head, it's not really words. We don't really think in words, right? It's just what we tell ourselves so we don't go crazy, but those thoughts aren't words. This is chemicals and electricity. So you say it out loud, it takes a different shape, right? You hear it and you're like, oh, Oh, no, that is in fact Teen Wolf. Okay. I wouldn't have heard that because it's just chemical and lights up there. So this is good. This saved me a lot of problems, a lot of guff with the WGA, quite frankly.
That's fair. Also, chemicals and lights up there sounds like an East Village second floor nightclub that Brad the Vampire would have gone to.
Yeah.
It is where, I believe it is the name of the club where the first 8 minutes of The Hunger takes place. So.
Where Catherine Deneuve goes and grabs all of her Defoes and Sarandons.
Yeah.
It is Catherine Deneuve and David Bowie hooking up with Anne Magnuson and a dude and going back to their place and eating them while Bauhaus is playing. So Peter Murphy is performing against a chicken wire fence.
Which already makes it better than most movies.
Can't argue that point.
It's a strong opening.
Let's talk about, I want to get back
hold on.
to...
Sorry, I need to talk about Brad. I have one more thing.
We're all fascinated by Brad now.
I can't stop thinking about Brad because the only job that he could have that would make sense to me is working at one of those bodegas where they replicate keys, and that he's just using that machine to make teeth, and that's how he does it. So he's like moonlighting.
It's so weird that you didn't go to dentist.
I thought about it, then I thought too on the nose. He's too busy working with patients all the time to make the teeth. Yeah. If he's working at the key place, it's easy to turn. He's turned out a bunch of them. He's putting them in an old Maxwell House coffee can, and then pairing them up.
I like
later
the idea that
them.
They're all like keys he's busted. They're like, it tastes a little Bentley. No, that's fine. You get used to it. Are you sure it tastes a little bit like wet pennies? No.
It's supposed to. That's blood. That's what blood tastes like. Come on, you've never cut your lip.
Yeah, no, I get. Okay, it's very.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Try it. And again, it's 2 pints that you're supposed to take when you're drinking.
Yeah. Good. It's good. Every time, I'm going to make this very dark now.
Please.
But, every time one of our dogs passes, and the dog gets cremated and you get the dog back in a little container and it's very sad. There's a shelf in my office that they all live on, and I always feel like, please, my loves, take care of one another.
Oh,
yep.
I know.
I'm picturing them like the busts from the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
All singing, Grim Ghosts come out to socialize.
Just exactly like Catherine Deneuve I am.
Right.
In this scenario. Exactly like her. In this way and many others.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
That's just where it starts.
Oh, I'm debonair.
Oh my God.
You don't say debonair for women, do you, though?
Can. Right?
Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
I've met some debonair, like Annie Hull is a debonairly dressed woman.
Yeah.
Catherine Deneuve, that's a very appropriate. Yeah. I'm sure there's a different other French word that would, don't they call it like La Deneuve? Like.
Yeah.
She's there,
the form of immortality.
Yeah.
There you go.
And we're back to mortality, guys. I want to get back to a thing we were talking about earlier about doing something that's so either terrible or stupid to the level of consequential that I think that longevity and immortality might be a thing that are holding us up. In that those things give you longevity. Something like that gives you longevity, but we don't know the name, how long immortality is forever. I mean, even human beings, if the entire history of humanity, we remember the very first bonehead move, even now, that's still only, several thousand years in billions and billions. Like, we don't know the name of the person that opened up the gates and let the Trojan horse in. You know what I mean?
Oh, his name was Boner.
That's
why
Boner.
We call him That's why we call it.
That's why it's called a boner.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like true immortality. This is that if the game is worst form of immortality, nothing sounds more horrifying to me than those versions of it that we were talking about. Like, well, you don't need, pain receptors anymore. So eventually you're just going to be a cut up, beat up hunk of meat floating in space because the planet
and by the time there's no atmosphere, it won't matter. You can't scream anymore. So you won't have to hear the sound of your own screaming all the time.
Yeah.
That'll be nice. In space, you literally couldn't hear yourself scream. You don't even need oxygen, right? Like it becomes that. Yeah.
Is the worst form of...
I'm sorry. I got distracted. I didn't hear anything that was said over the last 60 seconds because I decided I needed to Google Father Sebastian.
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
What's he doing?
Okay. It's spelled Sebastian, 2 A's, Sebastian.
Any umlaut or anything?
Oh, no. Okay. He is an American fangsmith.
Come on.
This bodega idea is really starts to get ground.
Published author and impresario.
It's amazing he didn't go with scribe.
Impresario. Impresario is a Wikipedia
Published
thing.
scribe.
So if you click on impresario, you'll get the Wikipedia entry for impresario. He is the founder of the Sabretooth Clan, a fang-making business and social network for the vampire subculture. Now I feel like am I kink shaming? Is that what I'm doing?
No, this isn't kink shaming.
Okay. All right. Yes. So
I love the idea that there's a LinkedIn for vampires.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Yeah, it's
Fanged.
business
It's
only.
Fanged. Fanged. Link it with me on Fanged.
Apostrophe D.
Yeah, bite me on Fanged, and we'll
From the creators of FingerTube.
Yeah.
I got some nibbles on my new bat.
I can't find confirmation that his actual first name is Brian, but
Fangsmith.
Fangsmith.
he's a
I'm Fangsmith.
Yeah.
That's not a last name you see in the phone book.
No. But his real last name, it looks like, is Van Houten, like Leslie Van Houten.
Oh.
Mhm.
Or Milhouse, right?
Milhouse Van Houten, yeah.
Yeah.
Van Houten.
Okay. Oh, he apprenticed as a dental assistant. So he wasn't.
There you go.
And became active during the 1990s New York City vampire club scene. I'm telling you, it was a thing.
We did not believe you.
Did that trend end with the movie Blade because of the opening where they're like, oh, if we gather and have parties, somebody's going to come in.
Yeah.
A bunch of Blade people will come in and kill us.
Bunch of Wesley Snipeses are going to come samurai sword us if we,
Please God, I hope so. Really? Could it have been the Wu-Tang Clan?
Yes.
Could that be?
Yes.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't...
Matthew, call our agent right now.
Yeah, no, I'm on it.
No matter what, we've at least established that Wu-Tang Clan are known to be now a loose association of vampire hunters who also collaborate on a a lot of projects. But great on their own.
What can't they do?
Yeah.
For the children.
And I don't want to.
that's right.
Also, and I don't want to be a nudge, but the plural is Wesley's Snipes.
Wesley's Snipes.
Wesley's Snipes. Yes. That is
A nudge.
Not Wesley Snipesies.
No. Snipex.
Hi-fi?
a bunch of Wesleyans would go into the club scene
Yes.
and they would tear apart these
Wesley Snipes was one of the two toughs in the beginning of the Bad video, directed by Martin Scorsese. But he was, I don't know why, but he credited himself or was credited as Webley Sniper.
Webley Sniper.
Webley Sniper. I don't know if he wanted.
That had to be a contract thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a union issue. Maybe it was a non-union shoot.
Oh, there was another Wesley Snipes. In the
Yeah. That's how
Wasn't
he's
that
also
was a-
credited on Wildcats.
That was a
because-
great
gotta wait for
episode
it.
That was
of
even-
30 Rock. Do you guys remember this? With Michael Sheen played a character named Wesley Snipes. And whenever someone would say, you mean like the actor? His response was, look at us. If you knew someone was named Wesley Snipes, which between the two of us do you think it would be? And that image, every time I think of the name Wesley Snipes, I picture Michael Sheen in my head. So maybe it's Michael Sheen taking down the vampires along with Wu-Tang Clan.
Could be
And
the New
every
York
time he
90s.
comes in, he has to like explain.
Yeah.
He just brings tax receipts.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was bad. I'm sorry.
I swear I'm not that Wesley Snipes. Look, I paid my bill.
Stop auditing me.
I do love that Wesley Snipes story though about the tax because when they asked him about it, his response was, my accountant said it was okay. I was like, okay, that's.
Which I'm okay. I mean, this is truly selective prosecution because,
Mhm.
Sure. All right, but let's get back to Immortality. We've just been waved from the back of the Joko cruise room. We've been waved the big 15-minute sign.
Way to ruin the magic, Mark, and show your lap.
I know. I know, right, guys? Look, you can't look. Oh, and here's a little peek. What?
Oh, I was going to point out earlier that any vampiric information you're dishing out, we have to take with a grain of salt. You are wearing all black behind red velvet curtains.
I am. I am. Look.
I think that makes him David Lynch, though.
And then a horse just showed up from right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think being the Black Lodge is the best form of immortality. What does everybody else think?
No, vampires are not. Anybody would die. Stabbed and hurt with wooden stick would kill anybody. Don't touch the vampire. The vampire is weird, crazy.
You mentioned something just now that put a thought in my head. What about the location-based immortality? Your Brigadoons. I'm in a place that as long as I am in this place, I cannot die.
Okay. So like a pretty prison.
Yeah. So you have your tribe there with you who are also immortal along with you. How do we feel about this version of immortality?
Again, do I have a craft room?
You do have a craft room.
Then I'm in.
And it's soundproof and there's a lock on it.
It's a soundproof locked craft room.
I'm in.
But it has a doggy door.
And it's one way going into the room.
Like a crab trap.
Yeah, it's a crab trap. Your craft room is a crab trap. We're sorry to tell you.
It's a craft room or a raccoon trap. Yeah, no,
I keep picking. I was the one who
the stick in the box.
Oh. Yeah.
With a trail of yarn leading into it.
Yeah, no, it's a sewing machine on a skateboard. You just kind of slowly wheel it in. Careful.
If you're in a place, so you're.
Is that what Brigadoon's about?
Yeah, I thought it was just a musical.
Once every 100 years, this place appears. The citizens in there are alive.
They have a kung fu tournament. No, I wrote that one. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. I had literally, no, all right, cool, great.
Cool. Wait, are they're leprechauns though? No? That's different.
That's different? I
there's
no, I don't remember leprechauns in Brigadoon. That's Darby O'Gill is like and then I get that confused with Gulliver's Travels and the Lilliputians.
Right. Okay. Yes.
I get Brigadoon mixed up with South Pacific, so I am retrieving myself from this portion.
I'm 5 feet tall, and when our son was Henry was 5'6", Matt?
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this. When he asked if I was a dwarf.
Yeah, he was 5 or 6, not 5'6", but he was 5 or 6 years old.
5 or 6 years old. He did not mean like
a little person. He didn't mean a little person.
He meant like in Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Like does mom have a forge?
Yeah. And he was wildly disappointed when he.
But like invisibly, like tried to be like, oh, cool, no, that's good. Okay, cool, I get it.
Like for half a minute, he thought maybe he was half dwarf and could like make magic weapons.
Oh.
Sure. Yeah. How far does your dark vision extend? Is it like 30, 60 feet? Do you know gems really well? Anything?
No, but I can bake. I mean, that doesn't do anything for him.
Are dwarfs known for their baking?
No, that I am.
You are.
Yeah. and crafts.
Regular, non-mystical, non-Dungeons and Dragons.
I just bring mom stuff to the table.
Isn't that the best superpower?
I mean, it is when you're our age.
Kelly Sue, maybe in that sort of world of dudes needing masculine goods all the time, like maybe Dwarven Forge Bakery, bread forged from a, is a kind of way to
man
for your tactical lunch.
Oh, like those. Yeah. Oh gosh, at the grocery store the other day, we saw like everyday carry Depends.
Like tactical diapers for like with the gunmetal and like. So maybe
camouflage diapers.
These are your manly,
like steely gray.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe you can do baked goods.
It's a really
forged in a dwarven bakery.
A D&D themed bakery would actually, a D&D themed pop-up bakery on the Joko cruise.
Oh my goodness.
Guys, it's virtual this year. Who's to say there isn't one?
That'd be like a reverse ATM.
Yeah.
You mean a money vacuum?
Yeah. Scrooge McDucky and Rio. Mom is going to keep putting money in. Oh, wow.
I would like very much to
that'd be good.
how to make that happen.
Yeah.
The old Dungeon Master's Handbook with the orange sculpture, the dwarves popping out the gem from the one eye and the cupcakes.
Yes.
This is going to be my form of immortality.
There you go.
That's it.
The inventor of the dwarven bakery.
That's the best form of immortality.
Yeah, we're not trying to find the best form.
Oh, no. Oh, right. Okay. So we decided, I think it's like you live forever.
All of them. The answer is all of them. The worst form of immortality is all of them.
I think it's like there's so many versions of immortality that are
all of them. There's no good version. There's
the versions of immortality are all either metaphorical in that people will remember you for a thing.
Yeah.
They are possibly mortal in the case of a stake going through a vampire's heart or a silver bullet going into a werewolf or something like that. But the literal immortality.
Yeah. Did y'all see Old Guard?
What is Old Guard?
Oh, it's so good. It's on Netflix, and it's an action movie with Charlize Theron.
I did see that.
Greg Rucka wrote it, and it's based on his comic.
Cool.
And it's about these immortal warriors, but they die
heal rapidly and come back. Like there's scenes of like bullets being pushed out of healing flesh wounds and stuff.
And you get the idea that every time they die, it's very painful.
Yeah.
But there's one. Oh, this is a spoiler. It's a relatively recent film. Perhaps I shouldn't say this.
Yeah. But there's a particular torture device that uses that
against them,
and it's really horrifying.
Yeah. So it's just like continual dying and coming back from dying and dying and coming back from dying. You're just stuck in that loop. Which that might be, I'm a
pretty terrible.
That's 1.5 stars. Not great.
Not as good as the Craft Room. As good as the Craft Room.
Not at all. And that's the Prometheus thing.
Yeah.
Is they are going to die and keep coming back. Just the general principle of it is you
Doctor Strange with Dormammu at the end of the movie. It's just you're killed every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And just keep looping back.
I thought that was such a fun, clever end. And kind of, any superhero movie kind of gets looped into that ending of now you have to fight the bigger, badder version of yourself. But that was such a fun, horrible, like Doctor Strange solution to that problem. I was like, oh, that's really awful. That's great. Yeah, that was.
Yeah. 100%.
Spoilers for Doctor Strange, everybody. Just go back and don't listen to the previous 20 seconds.
Right.
Travel back 5 years when it was in theaters. Go see it before you listen to the rest of this. The only other form of immortality I can really think of, and I think the answer actually is all of them, is when it's object-based specifically, whether it's an amulet or Dorian Gray's portrait that keeps him young.
Yeah. Like any kind of bargain. If there's a bargain involved, like you're losing.
Yes.
Like that's just.
Although, I might be the psychopath among us, but if there's an
or you
out,
just need a vacation.
Yeah. You really need that spa.
You might deserve a break.
Yeah. But like if I just take the necklace off and I'm out, like. I like
it's really longevity though. That's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's longevity.
Right. Yeah.
But immortality as long as it's still on you, right?
Once you take it off, it's like you drank out of the wrong grail. You immediately
or you catch up to where you were. Right. Rapid aging. Right.
Yeah. So then
that's a fascinating image though to me. The idea of that, like, as long as I wear this necklace, I am immortal. I have reached the point now where I am done. I have accomplished what I need to accomplish. I have everyone that I love and care about is handled. They are doing their thing. Like, I'm all done. Goodbye. Like the moment of the decision to take that necklace off
that's beautiful.
That's wild. Yeah. It's really cool.
I'm a boy, though I'm like a really, my darling bride will back me up on this, what could maybe politely be called an athletic sleeper. And that would come off in my sleep. And I'd be out. I'd be like, I would not be able to keep it on me and sleep.
Maybe, look, we've talked a lot about the 90s.
Tape around,
maybe have like a 90s, like Reality Bites, the choker. You know what I mean? Like black choker with the little medallion in the middle.
Yeah. Get Father Sebastian.
Immortality.
Body mod.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll take care of it. He'll implant it in you.
Yeah. Put you some little fangs.
I'd mess that up.
It'd be like dew claws on your neck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We're just bringing it all back.
The finger tubes have made their way north.
So you live forever, but you have a bunch of finger tubes like a Victorian collar, like Henry VIII. Yeah. But it's fingers. But inside those fingers is your Darby O'Gill Dwarven Forge Brigadoon nugget.
Aching for you.
Immortality and wards off vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we've determined both
whenever you want.
We've determined both the best and worst versions of Immortality.
I think that just means that we're optimists, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
We are.
Yeah. We're just good people.
Yeah.
We're just going to find the best option.
I have long thought my last words are going to be, oh, watch, this will be funny. I think that would be a pretty bad form.
That says, hold my beer, there must be.
Oh, for sure.
Someone has put that on there by now.
Sebastian is selling them on his website.
Oh my God.
Relative, actually. That there's a DeConnick gravestone that says, what is this? Here lies the devil himself or something?
Yeah. Not a beloved relative.
It's like a great uncle. One great or two greats. It's not that long ago. It's my dad could tell you exactly how we're related to him. But his son didn't care for him. Got the last word.
Wow.
And wasn't he killed by a horse? He's like kicked to death by a horse?
Yeah, no, it says he was killed by a bull. But I don't think, but if you do the math, he's like 80. I'm like, what the was he?
I love it when they blow the foghorn, you guys. I love it when the boat makes a noise.
So nice.
It's my favorite part of being on a boat.
I know, isn't that amazing?
Kel, I couldn't hear you. What'd you say? What happened? He was 80 years old.
I said he was like 80. What was he doing dancing with bulls?
And then she said, what the
All right. We have to wrap things up. Look, Hal, you've got this.
I'll render this judgment. Caleb, you want to know the worst form of immortality, and we've pretty much settled it here that every version of immortality is terrible in its own way. Every bit of immortality is terrible in its own way. You don't want to be immortal. They're all terrible. They suck. It's a whole big suck pile. You can call it a tie if you want to, but the very concept of immortality is terrible. What do you want to have to protect a painting in your attic from mold, and you constantly have to update your roof? Or some piece of jewelry.
Your Catherine Deneuve corpses, Catherine Deneuve corpse boxes. What if your Catherine Deneuve corpse box falls on your immortal painting?
Exactly.
Oh, you're going to create the new peanut butter cup.
There's got to be a better way.
There's got to be a better way. Just enjoy the life you have. You know what?
Painting on my corpse.
Sebastian, I think for all the talk that we've done about Brad F. Sebastian, Fangsmith extraordinaire, and fixture of the 90s vampire scene in New York City, has taught us, if there's one thing that he's taught us, it's to live your best life, to find your joy, and to follow it everywhere and build an army of followers who are also customers. So you constantly have new revenue stream. There's no way those teeth don't break. You got to make at least like 4 to 5 pairs a month.
But look, before I can replace your teeth, you must find 2 vampires, and then they too must find 2 vampires. And each of those vampires fall into our positive revenue stream.
Okay, exactly. And you know that they come in a little like coffin shaped thing.
Of course they do.
Like, and he just gets them from Alibaba, you know?
Yes. And it's got the greeting card music chip, so you open it and like beep 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 beep.
Yeah, but it plays Bela Lugosi's Dead. Like,
yes, because he's also a huge fan of Hungary. He loves Bauhaus.
Beep 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 beep. Oh no, the song was so long. I have to get my back. Sebastian, my coffin battery said, well, first you must find 2 more we can provide for you.
We must Das Vampiramid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
All right, that's it. Don't be immortal. Asked and answered. That's it.
Don't be immortal.
That's it. You closed the bar. Congratulations, Mark. You closed the bar.
Close the bar. This has been delightful. Matt Fraction and Kelly Sue DeConnick, thank you for coming on. We got this.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Tell the folks. I know we missed the boat too.
I literally dream about the boat. Matt, what, once a week probably? Yeah, like it's a recurring, it has made it into my subconscious. I don't know what it represents, but it's something very important to me, clearly.
I think it's the one place I'm not an athletic sleeper. I think I get the best sleep of my life on the boat.
Yeah, because of the slow sway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
well, may we all be on a boat again soon, one day. Where can people find you online or wherever you want them to find you? Or do you want them to find you?
Don't mention my name, please.
Great.
Yeah. Blur my name and my face in this. Is that okay? No.
Of course.
And you're going to get one of these things over your voice so we don't know. His name is Sebastian. I think it was Brad.
Comic book stores. Find us at your local.
Find us at comic book stores.
I love it.
As your locals find their way towards reopening, comic shops are going to need support, and most of them will offer curbside and distance shopping. Go to a local comic shop and ask for our garbage, and they'll hook you up for sure.
Yes.
And then bring it with you on the boat next time we're on the boat, and then we'll sign the garbage, and everyone will laugh and laugh.
Yeah. There you go. Well, thank you so much for being here, and thank you to everyone at the Joco Cruise for having us. This topic is closed, but there are many more topics to discuss. So please reach out to us on Twitter at We Got This Tweets, or
you can email us at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com, or go to the Facebook group and talk about other trashy forms of immortality. That's facebook.com/groups/We Got This Podcast. Thank you again to everybody at the Joco Cruise, all the organizers, everybody for hosting us, and all of you out there for watching and being a part of this. Also, thank you to producer Ken Plume, researcher Kate McManus, QA engineer Jen Alba, and graphic designer Uri Kelman.
And thanks, of course, to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, the people of the world, for giving us a chance to sit down with two legends and talk about such a huge topic. So thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
And for Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin. Don't worry, everybody.
We got
this.
We got this.
We are the host of My Brother and Me, and now, nearly 10 years into our podcast, the secret can be revealed. All the clues are in place, and the world's greatest treasure hunt can now begin.
Embedded in each episode of My Brother and Me is a micro clue that will lead you to 14 precious gemstones all around this big, beautiful blue world of ours.
So start combing through the episodes. Let's say starting at episode 101 on.
Yeah, the early episodes are pretty problematic, so there's no clues in those episodes.
No, not at all.
The better ones, the good ones, clues ahoy.
Listen to every episode repeatedly in sequence. Laugh if you must, but mainly get all the great clues. My Brother and Me. It's an advice show, kind of, but a treasure hunt, mainly. Anywhere you find podcasts or treasure maps, My Brother and Me. The hunt is on.
Max Fun Drive 2021 is coming. It'll be May 3rd to May 14th. To get in the spirit, we asked folks like you to let us know what maximum fun and our shows mean to them.
You know, the Maximum Fun Network is really important to me because it is not just a collection of podcasts, but it is a lifestyle and a value system.
The podcasts frequently and deftly float between meaningful and irreverent, in one moment drawing attention to social issues, and in another making dick jokes about Klingons. It shouldn't work, but it does. And I have to believe it's because Max Fun's podcasts are, at their core, thoughtful and kind and human, during a time that has often felt cold and isolated.
So keep being great and doing what you do.
Max Fun Drive will be May 3rd to May 14th, 2021, and you won't want to miss it. Brilliant EPs, drive-exclusive gifts, and maybe some surprises. Want to directly support the hosts of the show we just jumped into? Come back May 3rd for Max Fun Drive.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture. Artist owned.
Audience supported.